hopefully week 3 for us ends up going better than week 3 went for the NFL, at least the aftermath of week 3, because that's when, a week ago today, all hell broke loose as far as the pandemic was concerned. Right after it looked like everything was fine, they'd cracked the code on COVID-19. We found out about the Titans outbreak that continued that drip of positives from the game that they played against the Vikings week 3 all the way through the weekend. No positive tests, though, for the second straight day for the Tennessee Titans, which means if that holds for just one more day, they can go back to the facility. The 9 players who tested positive expected to not be available Wednesday or for the remainder of the week. Now, if you're asymptomatic for at least 5 days and then you have 2 negative tests, you can come back. So maybe some of these guys will start to work their way back in. But, you know, this is one of the things we expected all along. At some point there would be teams down more than a few guys because of COVID-19, and we didn't expect teams to be shut down for a full week or longer, but that's where the Titans are. And, Shireen, this comes just in time because they've missed one game. They got to start getting ready for the next game. And the Buffalo Bills are coming to town, so if they can get back in the building tomorrow and start practicing and implementing the game plan that they have ready for Buffalo, then maybe the Titans will have a chance to make things go as well as they did the day they played the Buffalo Bills in the Music City Miracle game.
That's taking us way back, Mike. Mike Vrabel said he gets the results of that day's COVID test at 4:30 a.m. So he's going to be up at 4:30 a.m. in the morning checking if there's no positive test, and they're crossing their fingers that there's no more positive tests. They can reopen their building, but what a screwy week it's been for the Titans, and if they have a positive test, it's going to continue to be screwy. But as it stands, he said he doesn't expect any of those guys on the COVID list to play on Sunday, and they're going to bring up guys from the practice squad. He said he's excited to see those guys play, thinks they can put 48 capable players out there, dress them, and get them out there and play. And so it is going to be weird. It's going to be a weird game for them. It's been a weird week for them. Obviously haven't been on the practice field for a while now. But as you have pointed out many, many times, when you allow this to come into your building, you pay a price for it. And there is an investigation looking at how all this went down and how it started and spread like it did, because other teams need to know why and how this spread to try to prevent it in their buildings. And so the Titans are paying that price. Mike Vrabel has a very positive attitude. That's a good thing about it. And I know coaches are big on, we can only control what we can control. And this is something that's completely out of their control. But they'll have to go forward and hopefully get to play on Sunday.
Strange to use the term positive attitude when we're hoping that there won't be any positive test results. But, you know, a couple of things that you said that I want to flag. The fact that the Titans get their results from the prior day's PCR samples that get sent off-site for testing at 4:30 in the morning the next day, that underscores the reality that how close you are to one of these laboratory facilities determines when you get your results. Some teams get them the same night. Some teams get them 24 hours later. The Titans are kind of in between, where they find out at 4:30 in the morning, but it's all about getting the samples there. Once they're there, it only takes a few hours to turn them around. And you'd think they'd be expediting the Titans samples, given the fact that they're on heightened alert, that the results are more likely to be positive, which is negative for the Titans. But that's what it is, and that's what they have to wait until tomorrow morning early to find out. And the idea that they let it in their building, you know, the NFL accepts it's getting in. The question is, can you keep it from spreading? That's the message now. It's inevitable that it's going to get in unless and until there's a bubble for each team in each city where you keep players from going home. Once players, coaches, and other essential personnel leave the facility, they all have their own story. They all have their own set of facts. They all have their own circumstances pursuant to which they may end up being exposed to the virus. The challenge is when one comes up positive, we want to make sure nobody else gets it from that one. That's what the NFL is trying to do. I don't know how practical it is, but that's, Shireen, what they're trying to do.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.